What's going on, motherfuckers? Welcome to the Crocs and Hot Pockets podcast. My name is Naaackers, and today is Sunday, November 15th, 2020. This is episode number 135. Tonight on the show, as always and as usual, we have the beautiful and the young middle-aged stream. How you doing, buddy?
Oh, what's crack-a-lackin'?
Hey, it's good to see you, man. How's it going?
Good.
That's good. And unfortunately, we have the much older and not quite as good looking Bishop GP on the podcast as well. How you doing, Bishy?
I'm doing fantastic. I've been using the youth filter here on the Zoom call, so people regularly feel like I'm the youngest one on the podcast, but contrary to popular belief, I'm actually the oldest. Yeah,
it is a little odd that something like a conferencing software would have a beauty filter, or just something that just makes you prettier. Because I think they're insinuating that you're not good looking, and whoever you're doing a call with, you need to be better looking. So why don't we just take care of that for you?
Yeah, let's just enhance the way that you look. I honestly think, based on the amount of Zoom calls that I've been on where it's been face to face with other people I work with, it's typically as soon as the call starts, people are like, "Oh my god, I look so old," or like they say something along those lines. So I guarantee you, it's something that was requested thousands of times by boomers, and now we're here, and we've got ourselves a youth filter. But it I don't know, it is a bit weird. It reminds me of like when people started catfishing with like Snapchat filters, and I mean they're still doing that to this day. Like, at what point are we gonna have like Zoom calls we've got like puppy filters on our face?
Right. And I guess that makes sense because 9 times out of 10. Somebody is using a laptop that has like a negative 45 degree angle with the one lamp that's in the room just shining down and creating all these terrible shadows. It is kind of, it's like when you open up your camera and it's selfie cam instead of being the other camera. It's like, oh God, that is what I look like from that angle. I took a picture the other day. I thought it was super funny. I was going to tweet it. And then I looked at the picture and I'm like, this isn't that funny. The picture was of me doing my O face, but with a mask on. And the angle was as if a girl was looking up at me and obviously there's only one girl. Oh, Jesus Christ. And I was like, this is what it looks like if you're getting a blowjob during the pandemic. But it couldn't really look like it was your O face because of the mask, and I was like, you know what, this is a little too far fetched, and I just didn't tweet it.
Blowjob pandemic.
It's probably for the best.
It looked like it more so looked like I was in pain, not necessarily that I was good. The mask.
You keep that one in the drafts, pal. Keep it in the drafts.
And you know what? It didn't even get left in drafts. It just got discarded.
Okay. There you go. Even better.
The picture exists. So when, my future adopted children, because there's no way I'm fucking putting any effort into spawning any humans, find my phone and go, I can only imagine what somebody would think. Like if I was in a car crash, right? Decapitated from the waist down. If somebody were to go through my phone from 2014 to 2020.
Decapitated from the waist down.
You caught that.
Yeah, I caught that. That's okay. Go ahead.
Because I lost my head.
It's true. You could lose a foot and still say you're decapitated because your head is no longer connected to that foot. Yeah, you're right.
Tonight, dude.
You're right.
But like, what would an average person think if they went through just my pictures? Like, there's no nudes, there's no porn. It's just a bunch of like screenshots and memes, and then like everyday life, and then of course like doing editing for either the podcast or video games. And I don't know, what would people think if they went through your phone right now, Jimmy?
Kind of something similar, and then you mix in pictures of my kid and pictures of my pets and my wife, and then that's pretty much it. It's memes, it's sometimes inappropriate memes.
Fair.
Exposed.
A good amount of those. Not like the boomer memes on Facebook, okay?
Right. The ones that you email back and forth.
I'm not that bad when it comes to
right.
But mostly like stuff off of Reddit, honestly.
Boomer memes are funny because not only are they lesser in quality, they're also lesser in like image quality. Like they've been screen capped 9 times. They've been letterboxed and then shit, what's the other box? Letterbox?
I don't know. Cropped?
No, there's two different pillar box, letterbox and pillar box.
Pillar box?
Yeah. One is bars from the side and one is bars from the top.
I don't know. Okay, sure. I believe you.
Margin.
I mean, I don't know.
That's all I would know it as. Margin for like cinema
Right.
bars. Yeah.
Like one day, machines. What if they were in control?
Mm-hmm.
You know?
That movie with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yes.
Yes. That okay. Skynet.
From a completely objective perspective.
Are we not allowed to say, if we say the movie's name, are we going to get hit with a DMCA?
Yeah, DMCA. Yep. So what you're implying is that boomer memes are what are going to lead to Skynet.
Yes.
That is the first step. Boomer memes being reshared, creating a network of people that are older, that are targetable, that are can be convinced. Okay. They are the problem. That they're going to create the Skynet. That's what you're implying.
Aren't they also like the weakest technically? Like they would be the easiest to terminate.
I mean, a lot of them have guns.
True.
But Terminators don't give a shit about no guns. Are you kidding me?
I'm just saying there's other ways. You're true, Terminators. But I mean, if you have good enough weapons, of course, the newer Terminators could overcome that.
They're like self-healing and crazy
how did they
shit.
even kill the... I know you milked the Terminator in Terminator 2. Spoilers, whatever. Came out in 91. And then in Terminator 1, they smashed him. Right?
Mm-hmm.
They smashed him. Sarah smashed him in that thing.
Yep.
I've actually never seen any other Terminator than the Christian Bale Terminator movie.
Are you serious? You didn't see the original ones?
Never. No. I know the scene.
What about you, Bish?
I think I've seen all of them to this point. I'm not like the biggest fan, so I can't like reflect upon my favorite moments, but I've definitely seen them alongside RoboCop. Like in the same period of time.
You've seen all the recent ones too, like the shitty ones?
Yeah, I think I've skipped maybe the last two if they've been done within the past 5 years, but I've seen all the classic stuff and RoboCop. I really want to drive that home. RoboCop and Terminator, I get those mixed up a lot of the time. A lot of the same kind of shit going on. Yeah.
You know, I actually, the first time I ever saw the actor who played the original RoboCop, he was in Sons of Anarchy for like a season. And everyone's like, you don't know who that fucking is? You don't know who that actor is?
The actor's name is Peter Weller. He's actually a historian now. And he's also well known for a video show series he did for the History Channel called Engineering and Empire. And I actually show episodes of that to my world history classes.
Really?
And I'm like, hey, kids, you know who this is? And they're like, nope. I'm like, that's Peter Weller. And they're like, who? I'm like, it's RoboCop. And like, okay. And then only like 3 kids know who RoboCop is. And you're like, well, you guys suck.
So does he not act anymore then?
I think he does a little bit of acting still.
Okay.
But he got like the dude got like a pretty, a history degree, an upper level history degree. So
I have never thought you could get a degree in history. I don't know why.
yeah, you can get a doctorate in history.
That just means you know history.
I mean,
good.
there's a liberal arts degree here, Naaackers. Let's there's a lot of degrees out there.
Okay,
Yeah, it
okay,
means
fair.
basically if you have a doctorate in history, you're teaching it at a university and you're publishing something. But most people that have a doctorate in history usually focus on one particular area. Like you have doctorates in like U.S. history or African history, or you know what I mean? So there's a lot of different people who are doctors in history. Most of them are professors at universities.
Interesting. I don't know. That just struck a weird chord with me. I don't think I've ever heard of anybody being or having a doctorate or a degree. Like obviously, I know people teach history in college and in high school and stuff like that, but just never.
I guess it's like I don't know if it's like a PhD or whatever. I don't know. I don't know the difference because I never thought of going to be a doctor in anything. I just know that it's a lot of school in history. I do know that.
Yeah, and which is kind of peculiar because there's only so much history that can be learned. So you would think, like, out of all things.
Oh, dude, there's so much history out there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
A lot of it is really boring, is what
Some of
we're
it,
missing.
some of it can be very boring. Correct.
Yeah.
And that's
There's a lot of history.
part-
It might just majority of it's irrelevant. There's only some like bullet points that are really, really cool.
Like
You know,
that whole Jesus bullshit.
Yeah, well, it's hard to see parts of history that I personally don't care about that much,
Right.
but are required by law for me to teach.
name one. Go.
Yeah.
I want to know. I want to know which ones. Like just one. I want to know which
Like
ones.
I don't, for example, I don't like teaching a lot about European history. I find it kind of boring. And some
The
of
Dutch is what you're getting at. You don't like teaching about the Dutch history. It's,
No, just European history in general.
Okay.
I find kind of boring. There's so
Mark
many
that down,
different
the
wars and so many things with kings and queens and stuff.
Yeah.
Just I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There's, oh my God. I remember having an entire class dedicated to like the Renaissance art era whole bullshit. Oh my God. What a fucking snooze fest.
Resident
No,
I
Jesus
Evil.
Christ.
I did my lesson on the Renaissance in like 40 minutes total, 45 minutes. I knocked through the Renaissance because all you really need to do is teach them the major important players in the Renaissance, and then show them a couple things. But yeah, a lot of kids don't like that sort of stuff. I get it.
Boring art.
Do either of you believe that not a single bullet was fired during the Cold War? Do you believe that there was not a single death resulting in said war?
Not in a direct sense, not a bullet was fired in the Cold War, but in an indirect sense, very much so, because the conflicts were being, it was proxies. It was war by proxy so much of the time. The freaking Korean War likely doesn't happen without the Cold War being in place. The Vietnam War likely doesn't happen, at least not to the severity that it was, without the Cold War in place. Okay, I mean, the escalation of tensions in the Middle East doesn't happen without the Cold War in place. So, sorry, we're having a history lesson now. All of a sudden, I just realized.
Sorry, I'm trying to get my doctorate, so I'm trying to school up.
But yeah, I mean, no, I don't believe that. So that's be a misleading thing to say, I think.
Okay, cool.
That's my opinion.
Well, I'll stop pegging you about your fucking day job, and we can get into some more depressing stuff like this live streaming platform and DMCA's. First, what the fuck are we drinking? Bishop, you can go first since yours is always the sexiest.
No, actually, tonight Casey was doing the podcast with her mom. Or sorry, not podcast. She was doing an art stream with her mom. So I was just kind of left to my own devices. So I made a little G Fuel action. I actually think it's Gamer Subs, and it's like a little lemonade thing.
Before you held it up, it looked like you were holding a shampoo bottle. Like I could not fucking tell what it was.
Up until right about here.
Oh
now,
my God!
Now we know it's liquid inside.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, yeah, that's basically it, man. Nothing too crazy. I was gonna go and get a beer, but I've been so busy this last week that I'm just kind of cashed out. I made whatever I had in my pantry. I'm happy with it. Actually, it tastes delicious. But it's about the company of the podcast and not the sipper Rooney.
All right.
Well, I'm not going hard tonight myself. I'm just having a Shiner Holiday Cheer, which is brewed with Texas peaches and roasted
Texas
pecans.
peaches?
It's a Dunkelweizen, basically.
Oh, a Dunkelweizen.
A Dunkelweizen, yeah. But I wasn't going to be planning on going too hard. I've also got an empty thing of water next to me, which I've been drinking a lot of today.
That looked like a bottle of Squirt. Can you please rehold that?
It's a Topo Chico with lime.
Looks like one of those
like sparkling water?
things.
It's like carbonated water.
Dude, Weenie and I probably go through 2 cases of LaCroix a week. Like,
really?
I believe it. I go through, especially on the weekends, I'll go through like at least a dozen of those Topo Chicos.
Oh my God. And it's like at the end of the night and you go pee and you're like, oh man, this urine feels kind of thick. And that's how you know you've had too many carbonated waters.
Yep.
Well, anyway,
when you said Texas peaches, it sounded like you said text to speech.
Oh, did it? Oh,
Yeah.
no, Texas
Peaches.
peaches. Sorry,
Texas
I need to
peaches.
enunciate better.
That's okay.
No, this is actually ties into what happened yesterday. So, like, I wanted to say, I'm going to give you the brief version. Okay. I was streaming last night and I ended up inadvertently drinking way too much wine. It wasn't on purpose. It was because I had had so much wine and I was already intoxicated to the point where I had forgotten how much wine I'd already had, you know?
How much wine is too much wine? A bottle? More than a bottle?
More than a bottle.
Oh my
like-
God.
It's like a bottle and a half.
Don't ask my mom that question.
Yeah. So
Boom roast.
what happened? And I did again. It was because it was out of a box, but I knew that there was a bottle and a half in there, roughly, you know. And yeah, it was a good amount of wine. So, long story short, I was fading fast by the end of the stream, and I was like, I have to go because I was, you know. And what I ended up doing was going on my back porch, and you know, it's an elevated back porch out into the yard and everything, and below the porch there's a bunch of rose bushes. Okay, like a bunch, and it's about a 4-foot drop. And I was standing on the edge, and I was, you know, relieving myself off the edge into the rose bushes. And then I lost my balance, fell forward into the rose bushes, managed to like get my hand up in time to like protect my face and my body.
What about your penis?
What about your penis, dude?
I think it got back. I think it easily got back under my tuck.
My God.
I was wearing elastic shorts, so it just got tucked in. And then, but I got like a pretty serious, like, you can't see it right now. It's kind of gross. I got a kind of a serious gash right here. And my leg is shredded with freaking thorns from the rose. It's like all these little cuts on my leg. And then on my butt cheek, I don't even know how this happened. There's like road rash on my left butt cheek. I must have came down on my side, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
So I show my wife. She's like, "Oh my God, what happened?" I'm like, "Oh, this is where she's like, "Oh yeah, where you fell."
Oh my God, dude.
I took a fall and it was not a huge deal. Thankfully, I didn't break anything. I didn't break my neck, and you know, it was all good. But I obviously had way too much to drink, and I felt bad about that, but it was totally unintentional. But that's why I'm staying away from wine for a while, because that drink, more than any other drink, can get me hammered like that.
Mm-hmm.
Because it goes down so easy, man.
How long in between when you pressed your life alert, how long did it take for the emergency services to arrive?
I just basically slowly picked myself off the ground and thought to myself, and then was pulling my leg out of the thorns. And they're like, I'm just getting my legs all scraped, but I'm so intoxicated that it doesn't hurt that bad. It just kind of shocked me. It wasn't until today when I woke up and I was sore as hell. I was like, oh, ow, oh, you know, just kind of coming to the realization of how badly I had, you know, how badly it hurt. And I've got like bruises.
You're lucky you didn't circumcise yourself again.
Seriously.
Yeah, I'm lucky.
Imagine getting torn up right there, dude. Oof.
Yeah.
Especially going top down, because your head would hit the ground and your peen would be stuck in the bush. You know what I mean?
How much money
I
would
got
you
hammered, and I usually don't do that, obviously, but occasionally it happens. I think part of it was like Bishop was telling me too. I didn't realize, I don't think, how tired I've been with everything that's been going on. I'm not trying to excuse my drinking. It doesn't matter how tired you are or not. You drink a bottle and a half of wine. You're gonna feel it. But I honestly didn't realize that I had gotten to that point, because I just forgot I had already had as much as I did.
I would pay so much money to see that footage of you falling off.
Yeah, the VOD's already gone. I'm
my God.
And I don't even have a webcam, but yeah, it would have been so funny if there was some type of video camera in the back right there, because that would be,
that'd be great.
That would win like on a YouTube compilation or something.
Yeah.
So,
Fail Army.
Yeah. Just
The
boom, you know.
the too long didn't read of this story is that prior to going to bed, Jimmy drank multiple bottles of wine and then went dick first into a thorny bush and woke up feeling sore with scratches all over him.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, yeah, that's a terrible. You got to take care of yourself, man. Maybe Naaackers and I for Christmas will get you a lifeline or like one of the
a life
clickers.
alert. I think
Yeah,
a life
life
alert
alert
would be good. I think
Yeah.
the only thing that was really wounded was my pride more than anything. You know, the fact.
I mean, that's up there of like fucked up. Like that's
Yeah.
like that's
I was
fucked
hammered.
up. That's fucking up.
Yeah, I was hammered, and I usually don't get that hammered, but it does happen occasionally. Usually not on purpose. And-
It's how it goes. We were playing fucking Road Company the other night, and I don't know what it is, man. I can drink whiskey like water. This past year, and we were playing, and I think I had how much whiskey in a glass is too much? Like when you pour a glass, because what I usually do is I have ice cubes that are about this big. And I put it into the glass, and my whiskey usually gets filled up to about there. But the ice cube touches each side of the glass. So, like, there's a lot of surface area taken up.
Mm-hmm.
I never know what's too much whiskey.
So 33% without an ice cube, right? And then once the ice cube's in there, it's kind of all bets are off. As long as it's not like up to the brim, I'm pretty sure one's going to shit on
it's
you.
usually anywhere in between like half and like maybe a little bit above half.
Yeah.
Like right now, I've got a half melted ice cube in there. But I remember like, oh, okay, we're done with Rocco, and not feeling that bad at all. And then I stood up and I grabbed my phone and went, and I just started tipping backwards. Like, what the fuck? Because I don't really get that hammered too often. So when I start losing mobility and slurring, I'm like, oh my, what the fuck what's wrong with me? And it can happen. Just like that.
It's like when you're at a bar, you don't know how drunk you are until you go into the bathroom to take a piss.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's like a wake up. You're like, holy.
It's the
fuck.
litmus test, and
Yep.
for sure, I didn't quite realize because I had spent so much time sitting and streaming, and I didn't quite know how bad my balance was because it was obviously poor.
Obviously.
It was obviously quite poor, and and I'll leave it at this, but I do want to mention this. This sort of thing happened to me many years ago. Probably wouldn't even have been that big a deal, but the fact that if you're 39 and you fall down, and you feel it a lot longer than you did when you're 29.
You know what? I fucking stubbed my toe like a month ago. Maybe
If
not
you're
a
not
month.
a bitch. Let me put a cap at the end of that. If you're
All
not a bitch,
I don't want to tell the rest of my story. I fucking like when I hurt myself nowadays, it hurts for so much longer. And I'm only 30.
oh man, you gotta. It only gets better, buddy. It only gets better. So
By the way, before we get into our hot topics, I am drinking. I had to go back to the liquor store and get another pint of the Woodford Reserve Double Oaked. I think out of all the ones that I've tried, that is like number 2. And I think like if I was to walk up to my whiskey shelf right now, I think my gut reaction is to go for the Bullet Rye. It just seemed to be like my go-to, and Woodford Reserve might overtake the Bullet Rye.
nice.
I think a Maker's Mark is definitely going on like is number 3. Just the regular Maker's Mark.
Okay. Not bad choices.
All right. Welcome to the show where everybody's getting banned and nothing that you do matters. So we've just been fucking. It feels like I've been shitting on Twitch for months at this point. It feels like, and I don't like feeling this way. It feels like I have fallen out of love temporarily with the platform. I was always somebody who was pretty good at keeping emotion out of my relationship with Twitch. Try to keep it as platonic as possible. Treat it as such, a live streaming platform for which I have a username on, and that is it. And it wasn't until these past, like, I want to say ever since the Black Lives Matter movement started, And then they just started fucking up almost immediately. And then they started fucking up with other races and other genders and just not doing a great job. And then all this DMCA stuff hit. And so I find myself hesitant to talk about this stuff on the podcast because I don't want to seem like I'm just the Debbie Downer or the negative Nancy. But fuck, I don't feel good about Twitch at all. And it's not even just like I just temporarily don't feel good. It's like when I look at the future of this platform, I'm seeing flashes of Mixer, to be honest. Like I see what happened to Mixer and I think, yeah, that could probably happen to Twitch in a couple of years' time. We've got a lot of different things to touch on, and I really don't want to steer the conversation, so I'll leave it up to you guys. But yeah, it's been a hard month for Twitch. And I guess one of the things that I always have to remember is that people who are working at Twitch are going through the same exact thing that we're all going through with COVID, right? But fuck if they haven't made some really stupid ass decisions.
I would say at best, a lot of the decisions they've made lately have come off as tone deaf to a lot of audiences. And that would probably be the most politically correct thing I could say. And I could get far worse, but it's hard, man. It's hard to, I get, and they deserve criticism. And one of the reasons, for many that they deserve criticism, and I don't think it's bad to talk about it because the truth is there's a lot of creators on Twitch that are speaking out about the problems with the platform and the hypocrisy and the just weird choices that have been made lately, And also, by the way, I mean, GlitchCon?
Yeah.
I mean, was
Fuck
that a
BitchCon.
success?
I was gonna say, you're
Who was
telling
that
me
even
that
intended for?
you're still feeling negative about Twitch even after GlitchCon? You mean that
Yeah.
the panel with Emmett Shear didn't really steer you back into loving Twitch? Really?
The CEO of Twitch seems like very, very robotic.
I am Mark Zuckerberg's creator.
It's crazy, right?
There was a split second when I was seeing, like, when Dr. Lupo announced that they were donating $1 million to Able Gamers, when they were announcing people getting partnered live, and and I was like, man, there's my Twitch chubby. And then like I started going to bed and it just all came back like
soft.
Fuck, oh my god, just so flaccid and sad and bloody.
Whiskey dick. Yep.
Oh!
Well, even, and again, I try not to focus too much on streamer Twitter, as I like to call it, because there's a lot of manufactured outrage that can show up on there. But one of the common threads I saw dealing, for example, the $1 million donation was just like what they did after, like they've had like the golden kappas out, which is, like pick a different emote. You know what I mean? Like, why would you pick a kappa emote after saying you just, I don't know. It just seemed weird.
Yeah.
And that was like one of the things we were talking about. I was like, yeah, that is kind of weird.
$1 million. Here you go. Kappa. Everyone spam the kappas in chat.
Yeah. I'm like, am I getting trolled or is this actually happening? What? It ended up happening, but.
Now that I forgot, there was in the same day, there was two things that happened where information hit the internet and then it exploded. So within the same day, Twitch had nixed a bunch of Discord partners, and they were going back to just being regular pieces of shit like all of us. And
wait. Twitch?
Discord. I'm sorry. Discord. Yeah. Discord got rid of a bunch of partners because they didn't meet certain requirements. And what had happened was there was a bug where as soon as people got kicked from the partner program, it automatically was charging them for a month of Discord Nitro. And of course, the first cynical person that picked up on that just went like, oh my God, Discord, you're the biggest piece of shit. How could you do this to these creators and partners, blah, blah, blah. And then, of course, it just came out like, oh, no, this was accidental. Contact us, we'll give you a refund. Easy. And then that happened within like an hour. And then Ubisoft, they had a situation at their building where it was a swatting. It first started out, somebody was like, oh, this is a hostage situation. And then that just absolutely exploded on Twitter. And it's crazy. It's insane to go to articles after things have been redacted. They keep the same title, and then like underneath it, we'll just put like updated in parentheses.
Yeah.
Like hey, there is no hostage situation. Holy fuck. And it was in that day where I had seen the Discord thing go, and then the Ubisoft, and I was like, I'm fucking sick of social media today. Like, I never feel like I need a break from social media, but I'm like, you watch it. Like, if you just sit back and don't get involved, you can watch it go from one end of the spectrum to the other, back and forth.
Oh, and not to mention, and not that we're going to get into it on this podcast, but we also had a kind of a big deal election that happened here recently, you know? So I think that has been exploding everywhere, you know, and so, you know. Sorry,
there was the subscription that came through and I heard an alert and it completely fucking derailed me. Yeah, that too. And regardless of the winner, I'm just I can't wait until that hype has died down. Like, I can't wait until we just all going back to only like killing each other. Or I don't know how to word this, but I just can't wait until we're not so fucking emphatic about it and we can all just relax just a little bit. Not that we shouldn't talk about politics at all, but I'd rather talk to people about politics rather than talk to everybody who's foaming at the mouth about politics is what I'm trying to say.
Civility goes a long way.
Yeah. So
it's a popular topic right now. Yep.
There's like a huge Venn diagram with like 4 massive circles. There's I'm a virgin, COVID, politics, and then just living life. And if we could just remove one of those circles, where the middle of all those circles is just
having sex, is that what you're implying? So I'm a virgin gets removed?
Is that a circle, or it kind of almost looks like you're making some type of reference to a vagine?
You look like you're looking inside of a butthole right now.
Have you ever seen people that can fit their entire face into a vagina?
No, not. I think that's physically impossible.
It is not. Let me tell you right now, there's people who put heads in vaginas.
Well, I know the heads usually come out of vaginas after 9 months or so.
They're usually much smaller heads.
Yeah.
I'm going to show you some shit after the podcast.
If I really don't want to see a video
as soon as this podcast ends.
I will pass. You keep that in your special folder on your hard drive, okay?
Pain Olympics?
Oh, no, please don't bring those up, dude. Please, no.
No, thank you.
But yeah, to go back to Twitch, I think we've been shitting on Twitch a lot here, and we were just talking about Twitter and how like it's like the gas pedal where people like see an update post about something and then it's full throttle like and then it slows down and then a new update post comes out that like something's not real and they're like, how can this be possible? How can this be possible? But
can I get a fucking a monk of steer emote in chat,
please?
Monk
of steer, yeah. It's like that, and people are just trying to like hold on. But with Twitch, it's been the opposite. It's kind of just been like a slow acceleration, and now we're just at like this crazy fast speed. It's like when you're in a boat and you just start cranking it up, and then eventually you're at this fast speed, and you're like, oh fuck, we can't slow this down. And then it's that Harlem Shake video where the bald guy's in the boat, and everyone just starts fucking smashing into the sides, and the boat's like flipping over, and then all of a sudden we come to a crash, and we're at a halt, right? And we're all at the point right now, we're all bouncing up in our chairs, like our sunglasses are hitting our nose, and we're like, what the fuck is happening? Yo, pull off the throttle, just fucking pull. And then the crash happens, right? And then everyone's
Johnny
like trying to catch the breath.
Driving the boat, just like,
man, I love that. The GIF, there's some GIF of like these dudes out on a boat. You've probably seen it.
Yeah.
It's the one with it, and the girl just crashes hard.
That's the GIF we're talking
That's the one.
about.
I know, but you were going beyond the GIF. You were adding to it. It was nice.
Dude, that reminds me of a GIF that I've seen of a bunch of people on a boat, and they're like, they're going super fast, and then there's a bald guy driving, and then they hit a bunch of like rough waters, and then this girl like flies across, and everybody's just
they actually took that video and made it into a Harlem Shake thing, Naaackers. I don't know if you knew that.
No way.
Yeah.
That reminds me.
Hey guys, did you know we landed on the moon? We also landed on the moon.
Easy.
Whoa.
We do not stand behind statements made by a middle-aged stream on this podcast.
But you guys all know that I have a big ass ice cube in my mouth. You all know about that feeling when you're like, you're on the back of a quad or a dirt bike, or you're going really fast and someone else is at the steering wheel, and you're like, at first you're scared, and then you're like, oh, okay, this is fun. This is just like a normal thing that this person does, and like he's in control. And then you get to a point where you're like jumping and like shit's fucking. You're like, oh fuck, okay, I'm losing my grip here. I'm not holding onto the rail anymore, and I might actually fall. And you start shitting yourself. I feel like that's where we're at now with Twitch on this podcast, where it's like, okay, we need someone to hit the brakes and grab control of the steering wheel, because otherwise we're gonna fucking crash, and like it's gonna be a fiery mental wreck. And I feel like looking at Twitch or GlitchCon, I was like, oh, okay, you know what? They're doing something in lieu of being able to do something because of COVID. And then I was sitting there watching it, and I was like, oh my god, this is a fucking nightmare. And it was all just like, it was a disaster, right? In my opinion, right? Other people can say whatever. I feel like it wasn't really reflective of the community. There was a really nice thing that Dr. Lupo did. I thought that was cool. I think they should have applied more pressure to the DMCA problem, because it is such a huge issue. And then what was really nice is that we actually got a reflection of what Twitch really is, and like what people are like. Twitch is trying to identify as like this really accepting and like they have their internal identity that Twitch is trying to achieve, and they're trying to like put that out as their corporate identity. And then we get to see what Twitch is really about, which is like XQC being a shithead and like stream sniping Dr. Lupo, and then like trolling him, and then Tyler One jumping into voice chat, and they're like yelling at each other, Tfue screaming over top of Tyler One and telling him to suck his dick. And it's like, that's what gaming actually is.
Yeah.
Right? And it was it was like a relief of like, okay, this has just gone to a full level shit show. And it was like in all these war movies, you see these guys like, while the battle's happening, they get like a sense of clarity, and then like it just goes quiet, and you hear like bullets like whizzing over the top. I was sitting there watching that all happen, like, hey, like everything is still operating normally on the back end. Like, as much as they keep fucking up, like the Twitch culture that is the Twitch culture that they can't direct is still alive and well, right? But it's like I go back to it as well and look at like Emmett Shear talking, like clearly reading a teleprompt, and it's like, you're not passionate about this, and you're not passionate enough about this to be able to address this without reading a teleprompter about the DMCA issue. Like, you don't. That made it so disingenuous to me that I was just at the point where I was like, okay, like this is clearly YouTube 2.0. Like, this reminds me of YouTube when they were fucking everything up with their DMCA and rights issues hitting the fan, and then everyone getting demonetized for the same thing. But yeah, I think we're all kind of in the same boat. I think everyone just kind of that cares about Twitch, that's been involved with Twitch for a long period of time, we're just kind of like disappointed parents at this point, watching our kid go fuck around and making OnlyFans. You know, we're just like, fuck, I guess I can't control him. Like, see, hopefully, 3 years from now, he gets his shit together and pulls it through.
It's like the first time your kid came home from high school, and all of a sudden they've got the I did anal jelly bracelet. You're like, oh fuck, really?
Come on, man.
Come on, man. Not even in college yet. You already got the jellies? I really have no way to constructively direct this conversation. Like, I really don't know how to make it into anything else other than like I heard about GlitchCon at first. I'm like, oh, they're doing something in place. But this was back in fucking August when they first teased GlitchCon, and I was pumped to have something to watch. And then by the time it actually came around, I had forgotten that it was even happening. And then I went live, and I was just like looking at Twitter before I started the show. And I'm like, oh shit, today's GlitchCon. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah. That's exactly how I was. And then once you see it, you're like, oh, okay, this is what they came up with as like a substitute to like, first of all, 4 days in advance of GlitchCon, they're starting to tweet about the DMCA issue that no one's seen a response about. And then in the response on Twitter to that post about DMCA, they like, after apologizing in the OP to the creators for having to delete their content and saying that should have never happened, then they tweet below that to say, oh yeah, by the way, delete all of your content to prevent yourself from getting DMCAs. And then beyond that, the even better thing, I don't know if you noticed this, Naaackers, because I don't know if it was circulated much, but Devin Nash on one of his streams, he found with his community that all of the content and I don't know if this has been fixed yet, so you'll have to go and look if you're listening or watching, but all of the content that was quote deleted from Twitch was getting people banned because the content wasn't actually gone, and the API to get the content was it existed where you could pull clips up.
Yep.
So all of the content from banned streamers like
Give me one
Doc,
moment.
you could find it. Yep, no worries. You could find all of that content. It still existed. You could find any clip that anyone's ever deleted. You could find pornography from Twitch that people have clipped. You could find like nip slips and people accidentally pulling their dicks out on stream that they deleted. And it was like a huge shit show because even though everybody went through, or the bigger streamers that listen to Twitch, that went and deleted all of their clips, they're still getting DMCA'd because that content wasn't gone.
Yeah.
So like the past 2 weeks has been such a shit show when it comes to the DMCA issue. I think 3 weeks since the last podcast. It's gotten so much worse. And then Twitch's response is to continue to do what they told you to do initially, then they apologize for, but they want you to do it anyways, even though it's not preventing anything from actually happening from the DMCA side of things.
Yeah.
And for me, when I saw that, I know like even Glitter came out of the woodwork after not streaming in a while, and she's like, "You guys are really fucking this one up." Like,
Yeah,
this is bad.
You know, it's funny because when they released that blog post, kind of explaining everything, I saw it and I was like, I started reading it and I was kind of like relieved. I'm like, oh, okay, they're finally fucking addressing it. And so all I did was I just replied, "Thank you" to the tweet, just to give the person on the other end like one reply that wasn't mean. And then as the day went on, I kept going back to Twitter and everybody was just tearing them the fucking new one, being mean and just shitting on them. And I'm like, God damn it, I should have been mean too. I should have shit on their chest. But I mean, it was a really shitty response. And I was surprised and I was appalled and I was disappointed. And I eventually got to the point where like, I just got to read this article later. But Devin has been putting out amazing content around all of this stuff lately. So valuable, so informational. And I'm so sad because there's days where like he'll go live and I'm working from home, but then I have to leave the house and I have to get out of the stream, and it makes me sad. But yeah, that whole... There was a video I saw where some dude was showing, he was just running scripts from his home computer and they were pulling VODs just like over and over.
Yep. Finding all of the deleted clips that people have deleted. I even went and found some of mine that I deleted where like I got mad at Fortnite from years ago and they still existed. But like for me, it's not that bad. But imagine someone that accidentally was streaming, showed their dick, and then was like, oh, fuck, turns their stream off, goes, deletes the VOD. And then all of a sudden, like they're like, "Oh, I'm good. My cock's not showing." But now they can be, that people can pull your cock out. They can literally come up to you, drop your pants, pull your dick out, and they're like, "There's your dick again." Yep. Because what Twitch was doing by deleting the content wasn't actually deleting the content from anywhere. It was just deleting the UI from pulling that content. Is from what I understand.
Yeah,
so
because
that was like a whole shit show. Yeah, it was just a massive fucking shit show.
There's no way that they are going to be able to delete petabytes worth of data in days. It's physically impossible. I don't know how many people out here have actually tried to delete terabytes worth of data. It takes a really long fucking time. It's not a simple task. And sometimes deleting data can take just as much time as writing data. So yeah, did I think that they were gone like as soon as you deleted them? No. And even the streamers that were like, man, this is going to take a couple hours. I'm like, yeah, they're probably still not gone after the fact either. Shit, there was another thing that you had said. What were you saying right before this?
Oh, the with GlitchCon and then the esports side of things where they chose to use Fall Guys. Is that what you or are you talking about in this line of
conversation?
I got one.
Yep.
Oh, in this line, sorry.
There's something about clips being pulled out, them respond or saying, "Hey, we're sorry that this happened." Yep, go ahead.
Think about all the people that have accidentally left or leaked personal information, cities, addresses, phone numbers. Those are deleted. And now you have all of these people that know that shit is not deleted. And if anybody has an inkling of an idea of when a certain amount of personal information was leaked, they can go and check. I guarantee the scripts that they're writing to pull this is not fucking difficult at all.
No.
It's public domain. It's all AWS. There's no reason why somebody can't reach out if they know how to get a hold of it.
Well, and the crazy thing too is that So like if this was something that was related to everyone deleting their content, so like let's say Tim the Tapman on Friday had a clip that he deleted on Sunday and it took a week for it to disappear and people were still pulling it up. But these clips were like years old. Like we're talking like someone having a nip slip that's a big streamer that didn't get or got banned for it. That content is still readily available on their server and it's been like 3 years. So it's like AWS is just like, hey, we're hanging on to all these clips because maybe there's no association with those clips or they just have like an overwrite over time. But it's it was pretty much an enormous disaster. And then they turned around and like apologized for everyone having to delete the history because we all realized that that's negative. I even went through my recent clips and there were some feels there, but then they were like, oh, okay, by the way, delete your clips. And beyond this. This was what one of the comments was that everyone started freaking out about. And I think this is the one that Glitter specifically responded to. But when someone asked about DMCA with the music, someone asked about, hey, what do you expect that we do about music in games? And they said, oh yeah, just mute all the music in video games to prevent DMCA. And I think that's what actually like the biggest, like we were talking about the full throttle reaction, Twitch, just everyone blew up. Like I've seen a lot of positive guys that usually are on the side of Twitch or like, post positive messages. And they were even like, what the fuck is this response? And that was really interesting. Like having to mute things in games. I think that we're at the point now where it's like, if that's your best answer for us, you're really unprepared to run a platform that is game specific. Like it's about gaming. But yeah, I mean, if you had a way to search what we've talked about in this podcast, I bet you one of the first podcasts that I was on, we were talking about licensing and gaming and how like the music that plays in games isn't covered in the licensing that games pay for other people to then redistribute it through streaming and through through creating content. So yeah, this is a massive shitstorm that Twitch was really not prepared for. And then beyond that, with GlitchCon, being all within the timing of all this happening, and they use Fall Guys as a tournament platform to give money to people, to pay people out. And with any game like Fall Guys, Fortnite, PUBG, PUBG now has private lobbies, but most of these things can't be controlled, right? Like they're open lobbies. You're using public lobbies to be able to achieve something. It's almost impossible to maintain competitive integrity when you're not using a private lobby. And like the fact that they didn't XQC basically stream sniped Dr. Lupo, and he prevented him from qualifying in the top 3 for this event and cost his team money. And it wasn't that much money, but the fact that was possible, and then there was a bunch of outrage. People were freaking out about it. But it's like, how is it that Twitch can think, like Twitch Rivals thinks that using Fall Guys as a platform for competitive gameplay is a good idea? Like there's 99 other guys in that lobby that you have absolutely no control over.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
odd.
Yeah. It was like just the ultimate shit show of things that could like conglomerate. And then we had like this Fall Guys competition on the back end of it where it was like, okay, like this is what Twitch really is. And it's just great that they tried to control something, and then Twitch's own partners and streamers were fucking it up.
And you know what's great about that is that all started unfolding on Twitter, and I'm like, drama? What is this? Oh, let me go search. And I'm like, wait, no, I'm not getting fucking sucked into this stupid shitty ass streamer drama. I'm not fucking doing it. And then I just didn't dig into it anymore.
So it was this all happened last night. So I don't know what's gonna come out of it, but I mean, XQC, one of their biggest streamers, is stream sniping one of the other biggest streamers, Dr. Lupo, mid-tournament, that the tournament money it's a cash prize tournament, and he's like on his stream cheating. And I just think it's like everyone can be mad about it. I understand that like stream sniping is a thing that we don't want to happen, but it's like as Twitch, you have to understand that is something that can happen, and maybe you shouldn't have a tournament when you're not working directly with the developer and putting in measures to prevent those sort of things from happening.
Do either of you know how it's fucking possible that people are able to get into Battle Royale games? Like, out of the millions of people that are playing games. How are people so consistent at getting into the same rounds of these streams? There has to be a tool, right? Like there's no way.
It's you eventually you find out how long it takes, because so I've stream sniped friends of mine before, and what it takes is you figure out the time in between interaction and the streamer to figure out how much delay there really is, and then you just wait for the audio cue to happen related to when they queue in the match, and you queue at the same time, and it's usually like a 25% chance that you get in, but it's not like impossible. Like if you were queuing for Rogue Company, I could regularly get into your match against you.
Oh yeah, that I understand, because there's probably only like 10,000 people playing Rogue Company. But
yeah,
like when I see like people like Summit having stream snipers round after round after round, when there's millions, tens of millions people playing PUBG, not necessarily in the United States, but it's just fucking insane.
You just have to think about how many people are actively pushing that Q button, and then how long it regularly takes for a match to happen. So say it takes 60 seconds for everyone to pull in 100 people. In that time, there aren't that many people actually queuing for a match in that exact time period. Like maybe there's 1,000 people, but if Summit has 10,000 viewers and there's 500 trying to stream snipe them, there's a good chance that they're going to get in. Like not all 100 of those people in the lobby are stream snipers, but there's a good chance that one of them is going to be able to succeed. Yep.
Yeah. Jimmy, you said that you had something you wanted to bring up earlier. Do you remember what it was?
Oh, yeah. Talking to just kind of still going with the tone deafness of Twitch. They, I guess they spent a bunch of money on these trailers and large, and in some cases, like large, full-size, like touring van type stuff for like the big-time streamers. And they sent them to a bunch of Twitch partners like this weekend. And I guess basically it was like it had pillows. And I mean, I guess it depended on how big of a streamer you were, what the size of trailer you got. But I'm just thinking to myself, okay, this is, I mean, and obviously this was a decision that was made a while back. But it just struck a weird nerve with a lot of people. And there were a lot of people complaining about it. And you know, people can spend their money how they want to spend their money, and Twitch can do that. I just thought it seemed just odd to advertise that's how you're taking care of Twitch by getting a handful of these partner streamers.
I never saw this, dude. I never.
You
saw
didn't?
This. No, yeah. I missed this.
Twitch literally paid people to drop these trailers off at people's houses that were just like mini TwitchCon.
Dude, these things are fucking enormous, though.
Yeah.
Wait, so
well, some were big, some were kind of small. I think I saw different ones.
It's.
I don't think.
What's funny? What was funny to me was like the collective Twitch hate group. Let's just all picture that we're all out in the streets, right? And we're just killing anybody with a purple shirt. Like, we're all just so mad about everything shitty that's going on. We're all just like killing people left and right. And then Twitch was like, hey, let's drive a purple bus right next to everybody getting fucking murdered. And then everyone's like, oh my God, guys, look. It's like, how the fuck? It was the worst fucking timing ever. And it was kind of hilarious because things had toned down like a little bit. And then it was like one tweet of like a purple trailer. And then like another tweet of like more trailers. And then it's like Ninja and Jessica Blevins get a fucking bus, a tour bus delivered to their house.
Like a tour bus. I'm like, oh, dude.
And you feel bad because there's probably people that were like, yeah, I'm kind of mad at Twitch. Oh, but a trailer, though.
The trailer. But the crazy thing that I'm seeing right now, because this is just when I found out about this, and my immediate reaction is two things. One, most streamers don't want people to know where they live. And boom, now you have a fucking Twitch branded box that's sitting in front of your house. The second thing is a lot of the, like, if it was me, I'd be like, where the fuck am I going to park this thing? First of all, if you didn't tell me about it. And the third thing, what's funny is that most streamers live by themselves or with like a roommate. They have a fucking hand sanitizer box outside of the trailer to go in by yourself. And there's nowhere to even sit. Like, what is this? It's like a fucking lounge. What do you want me to do in here? Walk in and be like, oh, cool trailer, bro. Like, what am I, a fucking horse? Like, what are you going to clean the shit out of my hoofs? Like, what is...
Maybe you take it and go camping. That's GlitchCon. It's like, I think it's like a mobile, like, streaming station, too.
You know what's crazy? is that this is the kind of idea in a big group of people whenever you're like at one of these businesses, and like Jimmy, you'll know this from like doing teachers meetings and what, like Naaackers, you'll know about this, right? Like you're sitting with a group of people and someone has a dumb idea, but you're like, oh, that'd be kind of cool, like, because it would be kind of cool. But eventually it gets weaned out because it's like, no, it's kind of fucking stupid. Like there's too much, too many logistical things. And like, just, you're like, yeah, it's not really going to work out. Like, it's kind of a dumb idea. And then that gets weeded out. This came to a table of individuals and they're like, yeah, let's get a bunch of fucking trailers. Let's get a bunch of trailers and outfit them with a bunch of shit inside. I want to know
how many there were. Yeah. How many did they I mean, because...
How many Twitch trailers?
How many trailers were there that they did this for? Because you got to think, that's a pretty good investment, I would imagine. If there had to have been quite a few, right?
Like, okay, Twitch trying to do cool things aside, in your mind, don't you think there was maybe one person at that table that said, hey, what if we take this money and just send as many Twitch streamers as possible food and like bottled water or like $100 to get, like, what if we turn this around, donated a shit ton? What if we just like, instead of doing a purple trailer with foo-foo shit everywhere, fill a trailer with ramen noodles and canned food, and go to cities.
Everybody loves ramen noodles.
Everybody loves ramen. And there must have been someone that was like, "Hey, what if we do?" And they're like, "No, shut up! We're doing purple trailers with hand sanitizer stations." Even though, dude, take your friends, go in an enclosed fucking area. Hello,
it's crazy. Okay, I'm looking at Jessica Blevins' thing. It's crazy to me that they're like, okay, you know what? But we have to get something better for Ninja. Like, for those guys. Like, fuck the horse people that are getting the little shitty, like, 1x1 trailers. Those guys are fucking normies, dude. Yeah. 5K sub Andes. Fuck those guys. We'll get them horse trailers and get some, like, contractor to put the painted purple line on the side. But, like,
also, how long has Ninja been back on Twitch?
Like, not even 6 months.
Not even.
It's just like, how the fuck do you get to this point where it's like, this is our idea of like doing something cool? Like, they could have sent care packages that, like, maybe it's got like a better streaming router or like something relevant, but like,
regardless of, you're correct. I'm only going to derail you for a second.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
This was a decision that had to have been made a while back. And it just was hilarious that, one, it was not a very good idea to begin with. Two, it happened is when all this shit was going on with DMCA and all the other shit. That's why I think it's just kind of funny. You know, like,
it's hilarious.
This was a decision that had to have been put into motion months before, you know?
So here's what I think maybe happened. Maybe they, like, because when you're planning for like a trade show, you do it, almost a year in advance, right? Maybe they had a big contract to get a bunch of these trailers made up so then people would have somewhere to hang out at TwitchCon, like at a physical venue. And then they couldn't do that. So they're like, fuck, we have like 1,000 trailers or 500 of these trailers. What do we do with them? They're like, just send them to their fucking houses. Yeah, just send them over there. But then people get these trailers at their houses and they're like, okay, what do I do with this? Because like my house is right here. Like I'm not, like if okay, realistically, let's say I'm a big streamer and I get one of these trailers where I live in Oregon. I'd be like, oh, cool. Okay, thanks, man. And then I'd be like, so when are you getting this out of here? Like, I'm not going to sit in a fucking trailer in my driveway. Yeah. It's so tone deaf and like stupid that they must have been spending a fortune on like storing these things. And they're like, okay, let's just send them fucking out there. Let's just get them out there. Like just drop these off.
It's all conjecture. At the end of the day, it was just like you said, it was not a good choice. And the other one, since we're on the GlitchCon stuff, I talked about the trailers. We've kind of hit on DMCA, but the other thing that was going on that I thought was weird was they had these weird like cryptic messages for GlitchCon and stuff that they were tweeting out and shit. And they did this one thing. I saw it, was like, what the hell? You had to go into like the Twitch channel and drop some bits in order to do some sort of something, like to unlock some shit. And I'm like, are you seriously fucking money whoring right now, Twitch, right now, for people just to go drop some bits because I was seeing all these people in the channel just dropping all these bits. I'm like, why are we dropping bits in Twitch's channel?
We're in the hole with all these trailers that we had to buy for streamers.
I guess, man. I'm like, what the?
Like, if I had a direct line to Ninja or Jessica Blevins, I'd be like, hey, realistically, how much time did you spend in the trailer? Like, realistically, like, you just be honest with me. Like, what did you guys do in the trailer? Like, maybe don't go into detail, but like, what did you guys hang out in it for a few minutes? Did you guys like look at it?
Better
not
like, bring a black light over to the trailer afterwards.
Like, what did you guys do with it? Did you guys go in and we're like, oh, this is sick. Let's make a Snapchat and a TikTok, and then we're out and back inside of our house. Like,
right.
I just don't understand the necessity to send a trailer to people, especially with like, maybe they're like, hey, these guys can take the trailer and they can go into the woods and hang out and stream in the woods for a bit because they needed some time to disconnect. Like, that's a cool idea. But like, it's just there's so many steps that you have to go through to get to this point.
It's like getting a fucking, what are those fruit pies? Like, that people get on the holidays that they hate. Like the fruit.
I'll look it up.
Fruit cake.
Fruit cake.
Yeah.
Not fruit pies. No.
I only know because I was just enlightened to what a fruitcake is about 2 months ago. Yeah.
Well, okay, so my grandma, who is no longer alive, but one of the things that she used to do, one of my grandmas, was she would send us a fruitcake around the holidays, and it would become in like a cellophane wrapping she had on it, and then it was inside a metal tin. And I dreaded the fruitcake every holiday season because my mom would cut me a slice, and it was the driest, nastiest, shittiest tasting bread I've ever had. And I used to have to stuff my face with it for the least one slice every holiday season. I fucking hate it. I hate fruit bread with a passion. Fruitcake, fruit bread, whatever. It's
You know how there was somebody who was watching like the radiation levels of Chernobyl just get higher and higher, and they're like, oh shit, oh no, wait, oh god. There was somebody who had ordered these trailers like a year ago, and as the year went on and shit just got worse and
worse. It could have been.
I
think you're right. I think this was a pre-COVID purchase, and it had a different intention originally, and they had to find a way to make use of the money, and they did it in the worst fucking way possible.
Yeah, it's like we either throw away this money, like we literally take this money and throw it in the trash.
Damage control into something else.
And at that same table where everyone's like, yeah, this is good idea, yeah. They all were like, this is bad. This is going to look bad, and we can't do a fucking thing about it. God. I would love a quick peep show, one of those meetings. Like, what the fuck are we going to do when these trailers start hitting? Like, these social media fucking clout chasers, as soon as that trailer hits their fucking driveway, they're going to tweet a picture of it.
But and like you'd imagine that there would be a better the hardest thing for me is like there's so many better avenues that you could have gone down, but like what's the point of this? That's the whole thing. Is it's like what the like why was this even something that there was any effort put into? I feel like that was probably what happened, is that they got these ready for TwitchCon, the event, and then they're sitting there on the inventory, and like Johnny, whose focus is to manage the logistics for the event, who gets like 2 seconds every single meeting to bring up an issue, and then they just push it to every next week to be able to actually talk about the issue, and he never actually gets a chance. And then we come around to GlitchCon, and they're like, hey, Johnny's like, hey, so I know I've been bringing this up a lot, like every meeting, but I really need to figure out what to do with all those trailers because it's getting really expensive, and it's on my credit card, and I guess I can't expense the lot that they're parked on anymore. And then they're like, yeah, just send them. Just figure out what to do with them. And Johnny's like, fuck, man, I've got like $30,000 on my credit card right now because I haven't gotten reimbursed by Twitch yet. And then he gets the lot cleared out, and they just ship all the fucking containers. And it's just like, I can't believe that it's that stupid, because it's not like there's a place to stream in there. Like in some of the places that some of the trailers that I just
okay. Hang on. I gotta interrupt you. So I found this article. Can I
get some whiskey
link in chat?
Yeah.
Also, for the people that are asking in chat, can you explain exactly what the trailers were, like super quick?
Yes.
Got it.
I'm gonna read some from this article. Okay. So this article, Screen Rant, said Twitch sends streamers trailers and backyard renovations for GlitchCon. And so this was obviously 2 days ago, right? In preparation for the virtual convention, GlitchCon, the TwitchCon replacement, Twitch has sent some of its largest streamers decked out trailers, buses, and even backyard renovations. I didn't realize the backyard renovations bit. Well, Twitch usually holds its annual... Yeah, you guys don't know about that. Blah, 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 blah. So then if you look on that article, Pokimane, I guess, they sent her a trailer. Then you can see this massive, like, tour bus that they sent Ninja. And then I guess they sent Valkyrie
a TP.
They redecorated their backyard, 4 bathtubs, a massive tent with a projector, and a giant wall of balloons.
Oh my god.
I mean, I guess that's cool. I mean, cool for Pokemon, I guess. You can have a little...
Here's a TP for your backyard, you guys.
TP.
Here you go. Yeah, here's a TP. That's totally fine. But like,
is it a tent or is it like a TP?
Dude, it's legitimately a TP. It looks like a TP. I can't see the top
video.
Yeah,
I'm looking at the video now.
What's crazy to me, like, I work for a company in UMG that has regularly gotten shit on for decisions and stuff like that. Like they did Friday Fortnite a while ago, and with Keemstar, and then Keemstar got all mad.
Dude, hold on a second.
Yeah.
I'm gonna interrupt you one more time. Did you just look inside all the bathtubs? They have just like a bunch of shit in them.
There's just shit everywhere. But
you're right. Crazy, they did make a It is a TP.
It's literally a TP. But what I don't understand is it's like there's usually like outrage to a certain extent. Like people just kind of get outraged about stuff, and it's like, oh, okay, most people are overreacting. But this is just like, what the fuck were they thinking? Like, what does this have anything to do with GlitchCon at all? Like, first of all, who buys like, hey, let's get a bunch of bathtubs and throw it in a bunch of streamers' backyards?
They gave them a bunch of
bath
emotes that have little handles, little masks. Like, they gave them a bunch of little, like the Bob Cool Story Bob emote, a Twitch glitch emote that you can hold up to your face.
So does no one find it strange that they sent a bunch of gamer girls bathtubs for their backyard, especially in the year of gamer girl bathwater?
I thought that was interesting. And also the fact that somebody that lives in that house is not even a streamer on Twitch.
Oh.
Valkyrie streams on
YouTube. Oh, wait, this was Valkyrie tweeted this.
Yeah, because she lives with
Pokimane and Chocobars.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow.
Well, it's maybe Twitch is like, hey, we're not making enough off of these biddies in our main channel in GlitchCon right now. We're gonna need you guys to make some gamer girl bathwater for us with these bathtubs that we planted in your backyard. Like, of all the vessels, like, you're using bathtubs and a teepee.
Yeah, and they're color coordinated too. Which, okay, all joking aside, like, if I picture me, like a famous partnered Naaackers, I've been streaming on Twitch for 3 years, and I've been a partner for 2, and I've had all these keynotes and all this stuff, and I'm like a super popular dude, and I'm like, oh shit, Twitch is sending me a fucking trailer with my name on it, and it's outfitted with a bunch of Twitch shit, and it matches all the tattoos that I've gotten, and like I met my wife on Twitch, and like it's like Twitch is my life. Holy fuck, this is the coolest shit ever, right? And then you're like, there's other people who have just been nothing but eating purple feces for fucking months. And it's like, I totally get that there are people that are just like totally enamored by this. It's like, this is the coolest fucking shit ever. Twitch has been my life for so long, and like, this is such a cool opportunity. And then to have so many of your friends and peers and colleagues like shitting all over it because some CEO of some department of a part of Twitch made some stupid fucking decision because fucking Arigith at a board meeting was like, what if we do trailers? And then somehow made it all the way to fruition. So I
holy fuck, man.
I sympathize because I feel like, what if it was me that had gotten a trailer, right? Wouldn't I be fucking stoked? Wouldn't I just be like absolutely blown away that
I think you'd be like, oh, this is cool, but why? Like the one that what's his name? Clicks got. doesn't have anything to even stream in. Like, so it's just like
Just a container.
it's just a container with a fucking beanbag in it. Just send me the beanbag. Like, if I got this, I'd be like, this is so nice, but what the fuck am I gonna do with it?
Yeah.
Like, I going back to, and we've been on that. Like, just so the chat knows, I didn't even know this even happened. Like, I missed this. This went way over my head. I was running that Valorant event. I missed this completely. But they sent bathtubs for girls and a teepee for their yard. Like, how tone deaf could Twitch possibly get? Like, that is like a total meme.
First of all, culture appropriation of fucking Native Americans.
Yeah.
I just now realized that. And second of all, when they were fucking banning women for showing any part of skin, no genitalia, no breasts whatsoever, and people were still getting banned, it's like, oh, hey, here's a fucking bathtub.
Holy fuck, man. I think Twitch is just at the point, and usually I'm pretty nice because I understand what it's like to be in a corporate structure and shit just goes wrong here and there, and like you're not prepared for stuff, you're overwhelmed, but like, man, whoever did, like, this is a stupid fucking idea. Like, you're at the point now where like you need to know this is a really dumb fucking idea, and there's nothing redeeming about this. It's just really stupid. There's nothing special. Like, if I see if I see this as like a headline of someone's LinkedIn, I'm gonna say, hey, listen, this is really fucking dumb, man. Like, there's a lot of smarter and better things you could have done. This just shows that you really don't understand Twitch at all.
Yeah.
Like, it just like, it's so stupid. I'm like, I don't even know what to say because I wasn't even prepared for this, but like, I get sending like a tour bus to pick people up to do something. Maybe Jessica Blevins and Ninja drove around and did something, but like, also,
they drove around and did something already.
But like, of all the streamers to support, you support the one that left your platform to make millions and then came back without even like. Like, what about everybody else? What about like the other 10 biggest streamers on the platform that are making you your money? Like, it seems very kiss ass and just weird. It's just kind of like, what the fuck's the point?
Jimmy, as somebody, I want to get your feeling as somebody who has seen fantastic success on Twitch lately and has just been absolutely killing it. Are you like,
when I'm not drinking wine?
Right, and falling into rose bushes.
Yes.
Are you like, my content's awesome, I'm killing it, I don't really give a shit what's going on anywhere else? Or are you kind of like, man, this is kind of killing my buzz a little bit? Because it's like, after all this time, I'm finally like hitting a fucking stride and slaying bitches left and right, and yet like it feels like things are crumbling from the top down. Like, how do you feel?
I think the only thing is in the back of my mind, I start to get this creeping bit of doubt because the truth is I'm not really in another platform. I mean, it's just Twitch. I mean, some of my content gets shared on social media and whatnot, but for the most part, 95 of my percent or greater of my content is found on Twitch. So, and the reason for that is simple. Like, I enjoy the performance bit of it, and I enjoy the live component of Twitch more than creating other types of content that I'm not as good at creating. And it's not that. I guess my big concern is I hope Twitch doesn't keep making poor decisions to the point to where it's going to cause a mass exodus of both viewers and streamers from the platform, and obviously, or if it gets to the point where the platform ends up shutting down, and obviously that would not be cool either. So I'm hopeful that things get better, but I'm not. I don't think that. I really do think that Twitch will continue to evolve, like we've always said, and there's been a ton of changes to Twitch since I got on the platform and you got on the platform, and not all of those changes are going to be good, and hopefully they don't keep making changes that are bad for the end user and for the streamer.
Do you think it would be better if Twitch just provided the service of the platform and then just stopped doing anything else? Like, do TwitchCon, understand your community, then just stop everything else. Like, know where you can contribute back in a positive way, like donating to like charities and helping streamers that need help. But do you think it would be better if they just stopped doing all of the other shit that they're currently doing?
Well, certainly some of their ideas for GlitchCon were flat. Yes, they've made some tone-deaf moves in a way, and I know much of it is brought about by trying to become more and more profitable, as it is a business, right? And that's one of the biggest things that people have to remember, myself included, that it's about making money. Now, I'm not saying there's a lot better ways that Twitch could be making that money, in my opinion, instead of the things that they're doing, like with the adpocalypse.
Dude, the ads have been. I mean, I'm all for just watching some ads in order to make the platform run, but holy shit, it'll be like a minute to a minute and a half worth of ads, not run by the streamer, for every 20 minutes. Like we were sitting on the couch, like doom scrolling through TikTok, watching Summit 1G. I kid you not, every 20 minutes there would be anywhere from 30 seconds to a minute and 30 seconds of ads. Just constantly. And of course, we're in the living room. We're going to watch on fucking full screen, so there is no PIP. And I was like, holy shit, this is an insane amount of ads. And I've never experienced anything like it on Twitch before. And I'm pretty close to doing Turbo, honestly. It's one of those things where I'm sorry, I have to give this up because I'm missing out on content time and time again. It's driving me insane.
And that's what blows my mind too, is I don't know why they're not pushing Turbo more. I guess it's because they realize that they would make less money.
That's my theory.
Someone has calculated that somewhere, but this is a way where if you consume a lot of Twitch content where there's ads, because, well, here's the thing. Even to this day, the ads don't bother me as much because I'll be quite honest with you. Most of the content I consume on Twitch, I'm subscribed to the channel that I'm watching, so I don't deal with ads a ton. But I'm not subscribed to everyone I watch, and I certainly get mildly annoyed when I click on a stream and you got to deal with at least 30 seconds of ads. But
I think it kills the function of rating someone new. Ads.
100%.
I think that rating, so like, let's say all of a sudden, and this is just a scenario, but like,
we talked about this before, where you're gonna pick someone to raid, and then you got to wait for the ad, and
then the raid starts happening, and they've already thanked you, and you missed it, or they asked you what game.
No, I haven't been getting ads when I come in on someone's for a raid.
I get them every time.
A streamer? I do as a viewer. But that's when I'm not logged.
Viewer?
Yes, as a viewer when you log.
I get them. I don't get them as a viewer either.
Really? But yeah. I have Turbo, so when I'm logged in, I don't get them. So I don't know if you have Turbo as well.
I don't have Turbo.
But yeah, I don't notice any of the ads, but I've heard a lot about people getting ads constantly. It's exhausting.
A couple weeks ago, maybe it was even last week, I tweeted out, I wonder why Twitch is not pushing Twitch Turbo. And the only reason I can think of is because it's not profitable. And therefore, they're either going to get rid of it completely and rebundle an ad-free viewing experience with something else, or they're going to jump the price to $15 a month for ad-free on Twitch. It's going to be one or the other. That's the only logical reason that they are not pushing. Like, out of all of the tweets that have come out from the Twitch support, none of them have said, hey, if you don't like Twitch, subscribe to Twitch Turbo. None of them. So that's super fucking interesting. And I'm going to guess that they're not going to get rid of it, because I think there's plenty of people that would pay $20 or $30 a month to not watch ads on Twitch, and Twitch knows that. But I wouldn't be surprised if they try and rebundle it with something else. Maybe they're going to create a new program that's like, oh, you also get ad-free experience, and you can also like choose 5 channels to be subbed to. You can
change the color of the Kappa emote.
How sad.
You can modify the Kappa emote to any color you want.
So I'm looking at searching Twitch's account and their posts against a word. They haven't mentioned Turbo in the past 6 months.
Yep.
I think this is going back to 6 months.
I did that same search.
They've never actually mentioned it in Twitter or anything like that. So that's I mean, I understand, but it's kind of like, okay, if that's the subscription model that you guys want, I don't think that it's not profitable for them. I just think that it's not as profitable as running ads, right? So like people buying Turbo is a free $15 for them, right? But it's not as profitable as just running ads against that same user. If that makes sense.
If you're paying Twitch for Twitch Turbo and the streamer is getting a cut of the revenue, is that they're getting a cut of the ad revenue from the company and not from Twitch? Because wouldn't Twitch end up probably losing money for the ad payout?
Well, I guess it depends how much content that user watches. So like, depending on how often that person's watching Twitch, they're going to get more ads per day, right? So depending on how many hours that they watch. So I think they'll probably lose money if someone subscribes to Twitch Turbo that watches a plethora of content per day. Like, let's just say they have Twitch running for 10 hours a day and they subscribe to Twitch Turbo and they watch it every 30 days out of a month. They're watching 10 hours a day. That $15 is probably less revenue than they would make on ads if they ran ads against that person. I don't know what those specific metrics look like, but I think it's kind of like a gym membership. It makes more sense if they can get people to subscribe to it and then they don't watch a ton of Twitch, or they watch a Twitch streamer that they subscribe to. So someone like Jimmy, if Jimmy's more likely to watch, like let's say just Jimmy realistically watches 2 hours of Twitch a day. He has Twitch open 2 hours a day, not streaming himself. And he spends a majority of his time watching a channel that he's subscribed to. He's already not getting those ads from that channel. So selling him Twitch would just be a bonus of $15 on top of that person. But if it's just an average viewer that's not like hooked to any view or any streamer or community, and they're just kind of floating around watching a bunch of different channels, it probably makes sense to not communicate to that person that Turbo is available, because you want a majority of the people consuming ads and not paying to avoid them.
Right.
But I don't know what that whole model looks like. 6 months ago, I would be a lot more confident, but I actually don't know where Twitch is making a majority of its money. I would have thought that they were doing well enough off of subscriptions from different channels, that taking $2.50, but I'm not too confident on that based on their own actions of implementing more ads into every stream.
Jimmy, for you, does it make more sense to cancel all of your subs and just buy Twitch Turbo, or are you about the emote game as well?
I like emotes, and the truth is, I mean, I see the argument, but I also know that at the end of the day, subscriptions and stuff, I mean, that's a good portion of what a streamer's income is too, you know? And I know you could just directly donate to the streamer and they get all of it that way too. But part of the cool thing about Twitch is the whole community vibe that emotes especially can kind of bring. And you know as well as I do that sort of thing can, I don't know. I just think for right now, I don't see myself changing. In the future, if Twitch keeps screwing things up, perhaps, I don't know. Maybe. What do you think you would do that?
I am subbed to less and less channels nowadays, just revenue wise. Trying not to spend as much, and I feel like my interaction is so limited that I would rather just gift the sub and give somebody else the emote rather than just be a sub myself. So I find myself kind of veering off onto the side of I'll just gift subs when I feel like I know that I have money to cover it rather than reoccurring. I think I have 2 reoccurring subs that resubscribe every single month. I am seriously considering not canceling all of my subs. I would keep the 2 that I have because they're important to me. But I would really think about just not subscribing to anybody else and then just doing Twitch Turbo. Like you, the majority of my time watching Twitch is lurk mode. Sometimes I don't even say anything in chat. I'm putting you up on another monitor and that's it. So, but for me, it's just the ads are so intrusive on the experience. And people try to compare like live content to pre-recorded content and stuff like that and how ads would actually fall. But imagine if like The Walking Dead was an hour long and you got an ad every 10 minutes that lasted 3 minutes and it wasn't a commercial break. The ad was just on top of the content that you were watching. And this part of the internet and with this live content, this is the only time where I've seen a platform just release an adpocalypse like this, where it's just interrupting the live content over and over and over and over. No other websites do that. No television does that. You know, the fucking concerts, you don't have advertisements in the middle of songs, right? Or in the middle of a comedian skit. It doesn't fucking happen anywhere else. So it's mind-boggling to watch it here. And it's only been in the last, like, pre-roll ads, give me a fucking minute of pre-rolls. That's fine. Don't give me 2 minutes of uninterruptible ads in the middle of the live content every 20 to 25 minutes. That is making
insane.
me not want to watch any Twitch at all. That makes me flip over to YouTube. And I know that I'm not the only one. I'm sure there's thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of other people that are like, oh, great, ad 1 out of 7. Peace out. Going over to YouTube. Fuck, I'm going over to Caffeine TV or fucking Quibi, whatever that shitty ass TV service is that just started up and shut down. Oh man, it's frustrating. I'm sure everybody listening can tell that I'm just like I'm just fed up. Like I feel I'm frustrated, I'm sad, and I just want to get back. I want to get back to caring about Twitch again. I want to get back to caring and being passionate about the platform. Like, I don't know how many other people can attest to this, but the feeling of standing in the middle of like a TwitchCon crowd and looking around and seeing your family and your friends and viewers and just like other streamers and like that sense of fulfillment that is in your chest when you're like, I am literally physically standing in the middle of this fucking amazing part of my life. And then just completely flip-flopping over to like, I give no fucking shits about any of this. And it's even hard to get the motivation to want to stream on this platform because I feel like it's just absolutely going to the shitter. And I know that's not going to the shitter, but it might. It might. And there's just like a little bit resentment shit bar that's starting to grow inside me, I guess is the easiest way that I can put it.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't think that there's a better way to put it than they need to relook at their ad platform and realize that they're delivering content in a way that is different than the traditional media that they're trying to replicate as far as the ad platform is concerned. They're looking at a model that works for YouTube and other, TV, and they're trying to replicate that in a live broadcast, and it doesn't necessarily work, and it's kind of fucking things. But going back to the pricing for Turbo and like subbing and like that issue of like looking at, okay, do I sub to 3 channels or do I just get Turbo so I avoid the ads? I mean, it's kind of like a gym, right? Like if you pay for a gym and never show up, that's the best case scenario for a gym, right? You're paying for something that you're not using. That's all that they care about. But if you're using the gym constantly and you're a rat and they can't get rid of you, you're sweating all the machines up, then you're taking advantage of the system to a certain extent. But
like an all-you-can-eat buffet, just fucking sitting there for hours.
Yeah, and
taking gummy bears and stuff them in your pockets on the way out, man.
Yeah,
I'm gonna get my ass to Golden Corral and just stay by the steak station and just shovel that shit right into my ass.
Yeah, so I don't. It's a tough situation because I was just thinking in the back of my head while you're going through that spiel, Naaackers, that like I want to stream Banjo Kazooie again, like going back into playing the N64 game, and I'm visualizing the people that I know that show up to into my chat, and like I know that they're going out of their way to come and just hang out with me for a bit for like that little burst of nostalgia of whether it be my stream or the game itself, and like the fact that they have to wait to interact is annoying to me. Like that's really fucking annoying from like the user side of knowing that person or those people have to like, if they're talking to me, boom, they get it. It's like the call shuts down. They get ads shoved down their throat for 20 seconds and they come back and something compelling, they could have missed it. Right. Like that is really frustrating from like wanting to produce content and constantly while you're streaming, thinking of what you can do to like better the presentation for people. like the fact that they might miss that is like completely disheartening. Like, let's say you just have the greatest moment of your, of the stream, which, streaming like we've gone through is like eating a, piece of shit with peanuts in it. Like, you might miss the peanut, and then you just feed your viewer shit over and over again. And it's like, let's say you get like an ace in CSGO or some game, you kill everybody, and you're like, oh my God, that was amazing. And you look over at your chat to see how they're reacting to it. And then all you see is ad, people saying ad. And then you have like a few subscribers in there that are like, whoa, that was cool. And then you lose the opportunity to keep the rest of the people, right? Because small streamers aren't going to have the ability, like for a big streamer, they get hit with ads and then they subscribe. Like the people that aren't subscribed end up subscribing. They get peer pressured into it. But for small streamers, they don't get peer pressured into subscribing. They get peer pressured into leaving and going and watching something else.
You bring up a great fucking point. My first thing is, I wonder how many of the 330,000 that watched Tim the Tatman's first Fall Guys win were watching an ad as he was winning. And then the other thing is, I was watching Hassan. I was watching Hassan watch the electoral vote counter. Like, he was just doing a political stream on one of the final days of the go and he was like, all right guys, I am contractually obligated to run an ad, so I'm just gonna run a quick 60-second ad. I'm gonna go grab a drink, go to the bathroom, and I'll be back. Twitch primes hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of Twitch primes because they knew an ad was coming, and they just went I think he just in that stream, Devin did the math. He made $250,000 in a single 12-hour stream from ad revenue, from subs and all that stuff. But just from him saying, guys, I'm warning you, I'm about to run an ad. I will be right back. Hundreds and hundreds of Twitch primes of people that just didn't want to watch a fucking ad. Like, they just like, it's like that nut where you're just about to nut. And you're like, oh, I could stop and I could just not nut. But everyone's like, no, go, no. Everybody would be more than willing to blow an entire month's worth of a Twitch prime to not watch like one fucking ad. Oh my God, it's crazy.
Yep. I wonder if that helps or hurts Twitch when it's Twitch primes that people are going to be using. Like, isn't it a bad model, Twitch Prime? Isn't it bad for Twitch to be paying streamers $2 for nothing? Because it's just like a percentage of Twitch, right? Or of your Amazon Prime subscription.
I would have to say that when you talk about metrics, that they probably did the math and said us paying $2 to one person doesn't even equate to maybe the ad revenue that they get from that. That's the only thing that I can think of, is that the ad revenue, that the piece that they were getting from the advertising, or the company that was advertising, greatly outweighed Twitch's cost, right? And then
but isn't Amazon Prime $100 a year? Is that the cost of it?
It is now 130. I just got billed. I think it's $125 a year now.
Okay, so it's 1/5. If that user uses their Twitch Prime every single month on the month, it's $25. It's $24, right? Plus 50 cents. So that's another 12. That's $30 per month. Or sorry, per year. That's $30 a year that user could potentially get as a discount on their Amazon Prime. Because that's ultimately what it is, right? They get a discount, but that discount is paid to... Well, I guess they don't get a discount because they're still paying the $130. But that extra $30 goes in the pocket of the streamer and not Amazon as a business.
Sure.
Does that make sense? I hope that made sense. Because I guess they're not going to get a discount. You're still spending $130 on your Prime, your Amazon Prime, and $20 or $30 of that money is going to streamers if you use your Prime every month.
So
I think that
guess
math works out.
The other thing that I would think about is, what other kind of money are they getting back government-wise from paying people with 1099s?
Oh, fuck yeah.
Like,
maybe that's all
that
Twitch is just a big 1099 fucking scheme.
Isn't that, like, can you imagine how many 1099s that fucking company issues every year?
Probably a million, yeah?
Yeah,
it's
well over a million. Well, no, because there's only 400,000 affiliates and 50,000 partners-ish. So 500,000?
500,000.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But that doesn't mean that those affiliates are making enough to get issued a 1099. Because
Well, they'll probably get issued the DMCA before the 1099.
This is true.
Yeah.
I did not get a 1099 my first year from Twitch. And my first year from being an affiliate, I made $900. It was either 900 or 1,000, and I never got a fucking 1099 from Twitch. I'm like, well, yoink. In a video game, I did that in a video game.
Yeah, in real life. Yep, or in a video life game. Yep, in the Second Life. That's what happened. Your Second Life is of you streaming on Twitch.
Yes.
Like Dwight Schrute.
True.
Yeah, metaverse. Holy fuck, man. Well, we're going on a break, I guess, coming up. Are you excited about that? Are you guys excited about... we're going on a little bit of a lull for the... is it for the rest of the year for the podcast?
I hadn't announced it yet, but...
You hadn't? Well, I guess...
There it is.
There it is.
Guess
Hopefully Twitch is
cat's
still
out of
around.
bag now. Good job.
No,
pal.
I had announced it softly on my stream one day. So
Now it's hard.
Now
it's hard.
Yeah, now it's hard. And that was just that I was going to be taking the month of December off of streaming on Twitch, but I was going to be back in January. And I'm honestly surprised that half of the people that I watch on Twitch have not also taken long extended breaks. And to me, knowing how I get after being burnt out, the middle of this next COVID wave, I mean, we're already in the middle of it, but what I mean, when it gets really bad, I feel like I'm going to start seeing my streamer friends drop like flies, like taking a break, got to take a step back, just left and right, because everybody's done really fucking good at just pushing through 2020's bullshit and just being fucking powerful streamers. And I'm like, how do none of you fucking take breaks? And it's like, it's other people who are working full-time jobs and streaming on Twitch. So my guess is that sometime in the middle of the winter, people are going to start like, oh, all right, I got to take some time. So I'm being proactive and I'm taking my time off before I get really, really shitty. I had a text conversation with my manager and I said, hey, look, I'm just letting you know I'm burnt the fuck out. I've been working overtime every single week and I'm like, I got to take time off soon. I've only taken one day since last Thanksgiving, like one day off. And she's like, well, how about I'm just going to mark you off for these days. And I'm going to take Friday after Thanksgiving and then Monday and Tuesday. So I can just have like a 5-day do fucking nothing. And I'm pretty excited about just having a break.
Disconnect completely. Yeah.
Even though I had 3 months off at the beginning of 2020, man, it doesn't matter. That shit was reset. That burnout meter was set.
Yep. I think Jimmy and I, before the podcast, we were both like, oh, fuck, it's November. I don't know if you said that, but it was right before the podcast. We're like, oh, God, it's fucking November. How are we? We're like it's winter now. Like it's been
quite the year. I feel like this year has felt extra long. But here we are, almost to the end of it. We're halfway through November, and it'll be. I think it's the right call to give a break. I think the podcast will be fine. It'll be good to have some of that extra time to spend with friends and family, and I know I am very much looking forward to a break. I have the week of Thanksgiving off. And I'm still going to be streaming, but it'll be so nice to not have to worry about the stress of work,
Sure.
Because it's been stressful. I'm not going to lie, it has been a lot of stressful moments I've had at work this year. So it'll be good to get away from there for a little while.
Do you have your regular 2 weeks off like you should for Christmas?
Mm-hmm. Except I'll actually get them off now because I'm not coaching anymore. So
that's right.
I would usually have to do practices and other stuff. So I would only get a few days. But now that I'm not coaching and just teaching, it'll be nice to have the true 2 weeks completely off work.
Awesome.
So I'm excited, man. I haven't had that since I've started. So it'll be cool. It'll be nice and cool.
Hopefully by the time we come back, Twitch will have something sorted out. Like just fix one of the problems. Just one. Like even if 10 fucking other problems pop up that are like shitty, as long as you just fix one thing, it'll feel good. I feel. Just fix something.
I think too, for me personally, just taking a month off of caring about Twitch will also kind of be nice in the long run.
Yeah.
Do you guys have any other final points before we get to the Q&A?
I'm good, brother.
I don't feel great about today's episode. I mean, I'm super glad that we get to hang out, because for the past 2 podcasts we've had an outsider, and it's like it's Sundays for the boys, so it's great to be able to sit here. But shit, I just I hate how cynical I am about all of this, and I mean, it was good to air some of that stuff out, and I was happy to hear some of your opinions, but I'm sorry if I was a little poopish.
I think you're just expressing what a lot of people are feeling right now. So it's okay. We got to talk about it. Sometimes you got to, unfortunately, because of the nature of 2020, it seems, there's been less positive stories to discuss,
Yeah.
The nature of the beast. And it's not all bad stuff that we discuss. But yeah, today I think it probably feels that way because you feel like a lot of the stuff we were talking about was negative, and that's okay.
What if for the last podcast before the break, we did an unorthodox podcast and we just played some games together?
We could probably try and figure that out.
Okay.
I'm down. Let's talk logistics, and maybe we could find something we can all agree on playing and just fuck around for a little bit.
Fall Guys
do
and
our
wine.
own GlitchCon.
Yeah.
Fall Guys and no wine, because then I turn into the real life Fall Guy.
All right, quick Q&A. We got 2 questions here. First one from Suicidal Medic. If Twitch doesn't fix itself and shuts down, will you guys keep streaming?
Yes. I think that Twitch is even though it doesn't feel like this, and we always get dragged back into the community and that side of things, streaming is just a new version of tweeting. It's just a new version of posting on Instagram or using Facebook. It's it's more, and it's much more different than that because it's much more personal and less of fluff, right? You can't just fluff your stream and feel like that's the best part of your life and show people just that. It's more of a personal touch, but streaming's not going anywhere. It's not like if Twitch disappears, there's going to be a new Twitch. Someone's going to fill the void. Twitch will always be around as far as the world of streaming is concerned. The community is still going to exist somewhere. It's going to migrate somewhere, but it just makes it really hard to want to stream when there's so many other things that are preventative things that happen in the back of your mind when you're going live, when you're about to go live. If something's not ready, your alert's not working, sound being fucked up, your graphics card's fucked up, whatever the issues are, there's a million things that are on the shoulders of streamers that you hope that the company that you're working with has their shit together. And then when they fuck that up, it just makes it a little harder to be someone that walks out into the streets and says, hey, I stream on Twitch. Not everyone's going to know that, but they know what Twitch is and know all the nuances about Twitch and all the negatives. So they'll just think you're just, you play video games and this and that, or they'll think it's like YouTube. They don't know the little things, but you feel a little less good about telling people that. That's how I feel about it. I don't want to tell people that I stream because it's just it's like being associated with something that's bad in your own mind, and that's the hardest thing to cope with, I feel. So I'll still stream it somewhere, and from time to time, just it's making a post on Twitter or something like that. Sure. But yeah, I mean, if there's a better option in the world, it just depends where the people are. I don't really give a fuck about Twitch personally, the business of the brand. It's really interesting to me, but I don't really give a fuck what they do, because at the end of the day, I just like connecting with people. And this year has been one of those years where we've needed that more than anything. And it's unfortunate that the company that's behind it, at least the community that we care about, is screwing up the things that we don't, So, yeah.
My much shorter response would be probably, but I guess it would just depend on what my choices were at that time, If I wouldn't do Facebook, I wouldn't do something where I couldn't keep some sort of anonymity, you know what I mean? But if there was another realistic choice, I could see myself migrating to another platform, perhaps, yeah.
If Twitch shut down tomorrow, I would start streaming on YouTube pretty much immediately. I wouldn't even think about it twice. I love creating content I love doing the podcast. I love making videos. And I love playing video games. And, I've always felt like no matter how I feel mental health wise, like there's always so much mental health shit that gets in the way of streaming, of live streaming. The numbers, your friends feeling like you're not good enough, and the clicks, and then the drama, and there's just so much shit that gets in the way. But at the end of the day, like when all of that smoke clears, I do love creating content, and I do love live shit, and I love online communities, and I love everything that has come from those online communities. And so I wouldn't think twice to be like, yep, I'm streaming on YouTube now. So definitely I would. Second and last question from Marshmallow. I know you're in a podcast, but how do you get the other webcams on your OBS or streaming software? I saw that somebody in chat said that you could ask me in Discord and I could give you a detailed answer, and I can if you need more. But it's actually really simple. I use Zoom for video calls, and then I use multiple monitor captures in OBS, and I place those all behind a PNG template that I've created in Photoshop. So it's just a nice little wallpaper with 3 holes cut out of it, and each monitor capture strategically placed so that we all look sexy and pretty and evenly aged.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, on that note, that is the end of the motherfucking podcast. So what we're going to do is go around the room and introduce you guys to everybody that you're looking at right now, what they have going on the internet in the near future, and then we're going to wrap this bitch. So, Mr. Bishop GP, we'll start with you.
My name is Bishop GP. I am to be found on the dubious Twitter at Bishop Was Here. You can find me on Twitch at Bishop GP, or in lobbies of Road Company, the guy teabagging you. So I'm the guy.
My name is Middle Age Stream. You can find me on Middle Age Stream at twitch.com, Middle Age Stream, no D, on twitter.com. And this week, I'm actually going to be doing a save file exchange with Mom Games Hard we had on the podcast not too long ago, if you remember. And we're playing the old school Police Quest, the VGA remaster. And so we have a little competition going, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So we'll be doing that Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday if necessary also. So it's going to be fun.
Awesome. My name is Naaackers, and I want to take a super, super quick minute here to just say, if today is the first time that you've tuned into the podcast, this is not, us fucking with each other and drinking and having a good time, that is a normal occurrence. But my vibe is not. The way that I projected myself and the way that I am tonight, where I'm kind of a Debbie Downer and we're just shitting on Twitch and we're just those cynical people that just shit on everything that they do. That's not normally what we do. We really try and pride ourselves with being a place that you can come to talk and learn about things that are going on in Twitch and with video games. And we spend a lot of time talking about the things that we love and the times that we share together. So if today is your first time, I don't want you to get the wrong impression. Unfortunately, we're 2 hours in, and that impression is probably already cemented into your brain. But if I hope that you come back at a further date, and I can kind of win back your opinion of the show, because it's not a show that I like having. And like Jimmy said, I'm sure that I echoed a lot of how a lot of people are thinking, and it's not necessarily like an outlandish mindset at the moment, but it just doesn't feel great. And I wanted to do the podcast. I wanted to be live and hang out with my homies and hang out with Chad as well. But goddamn, if it just didn't feel like a great time to be on Twitch. So
shitting on Twitch for sending gamer girls bathtubs is pretty fucking. Fucking funny, man. Come on, they sent trailers to people. That I think we're just in a spot right now where like Twitch is fucking a lot of stuff up, and it's frustrating because we want to be passionate about Twitch, but they keep fucking stuff up. And there's some funny stuff coming out of it, but it just kind of like it's like being embarrassed because your parents keep doing some stupid shit, or your kids keep doing stupid shit. You're just like I love the guy, but he's being a total fucking moron.
Yeah.
So hopefully we see better. Well, hopefully we're in a better place just from Twitch in general and just streaming in general. There's more news that's interesting. But yeah, sometimes we just have lulls of where there's not a ton happening. We didn't even talk about PlayStation or Xbox coming out because we were so focused on Twitch fucking their shit up.
Okay, we're not getting
I didn't
that
want to
low.
say shit about it because I can't even find any of those things that aren't marked up $1 million.
Oh, are you looking to buy one or two?
I wanted to buy an Xbox.
Okay.
10 grand. I got you, baby.
Got 10 grand. Okay, I'll send you 10 grand.
Yeah. No worries.
Anywho, so anybody that was here and that checked out the show, I greatly appreciate you. I appreciate you giving us a chance to serenade you for the night. Thank you for listening to the podcast. And I know there's a lot of you that we see week after week after week after week, and you just show us so much love. And I am so fucking appreciative of your time, especially in times like this when we're all just really longing for something to make us forget that we're living, right? You just want to go somewhere where you can just have a good time and forget about life. And I'm sorry if I didn't deliver that tonight.
Maybe we need to give the chat trailers is what you're getting at. We need to give them an escape room. We need to give them
Legos.
That's what we do. We throw in all the revenue from the Crocs and Hot Pockets.
You guys are getting trailers. All 32 of
you guys are all getting trailers, okay?
You're
last one of you.
And by
Naaackers.
trailers, we mean movie trailers for the Crocs and Hot Pockets
Getting
podcast.
a movie trailer for what's going to
bathtubs.
happen in the next season of the Crocs and Hot Pockets.
I think we could afford. I think we could afford TPs or tents or whatever Twitch wanted.
No
to label
cultural
that.
appropriation.
I mean, if Twitch can do it or the podcast can do it, if we'll send you a tent, maybe if we blow up, maybe we'll consider sending a tent to you.
What if we send everyone like one of those those little baby pools that you see outside Walmart?
Oh, the
We
ones
send
that have
everybody
like the
one of those.
Photoshop graphic that make them look enormous, and then there's like 10 kids inside, and then you get it out, and it's like a 5x5 and 1 foot tall.
Yeah, and it can hold like 1 foot of water.
Yeah, we can afford that. That's in the budget.
That's definitely there.
We can do that.
A kiddie pool.
We can do that.
Again, my name is Naaackers. You guys can find me on this channel, Twitter, Instagram, Naaackers with 3 A's. My schedule is crazy inconsistent because of my day job currently, but I'm trying to fit in Rocket League stream after Rocket League stream after Rocket League stream. And that's pretty much all I've been streaming other than Horizon Zero Dawn, which I streamed the past 2 days, and I fucking love. If you have not played Horizon Zero Dawn, please, God, play it. But I currently do not have... Fuck, Jimmy, you gotta play it, man!
I will eventually.
Okay. All right, cool. I am not planning a podcast for next week, and then the final Crocs and Hot Pockets podcast before my break during December will be 2 weeks from now, and then we'll pick back.
It'll be and that'll change everyone's mind because we're gonna do something unorthodox and have a little fun.
Yep.
And we can still talk about some shit while we're doing it, but
Sure.
We'll figure out a way we can play a game, and then it'll be a good time.
Cool. All right, chat. Thank you guys, audio listeners in the future, people watching on YouTube, Twitch. Thank you for checking out the show, and we hope you have a fantastic rest of your weekend, which is about an hour on the East Coast. And please be safe. Wear a fucking mask, social distance, wash your hands, all that good shit.
Don't fall into a bush, dick first.
That too,
No.
and also never, ever, ever pull out. Have a good night, everybody.
Bye.
Bye. Your mic cut out.
We lost the bird. We're one bird down. Oh, he's back.
Katie, where's Katie? Katie Peters.
Mine hurt. My arm hurt. I was like, oh, I actually
He's got his wings
hit on the
clipped.
chair.
All right, you guys get the fuck out of here.
Later.
Good night.
Later.
Thank you very much for checking out this episode of the Crocs and Hot Pockets podcast. If you would like to catch the show live, it airs on Twitch on my channel at twitch.tv/Naaackers at 9 p.m. every single Sunday. If you would like to check out the most recent episode of the podcast, you can probably click this little box here. And if you feel like checking out some of our highlights, you can maybe click this little box down here. And maybe I'll even put a little thing for you to click right here. No? Bye.